Hi, welcome back. It's Ray from ProShaper Workshop. We're back on the Healey again. We'd love to be doing the Talbot-Lago, but we're getting a lot of backlash. We got to finish this Healey, so we're going to slave away on the Healey. So we've got a bunch of problems we got to address. I'm going to do them one at a time. We can see here that this is tight and it's down. So I'm going to try tonight to pop that up. And also we're in quite a bit right here. We made the gauge. That's all out of whack. This has got to go in, that's got to go out. And we're going to try to do that. I'm probably going to do that first. Then also I have this has to come out this way. But if I do that, this whole thing's going to just go tearing apart on me. So I don't know how to solve that yet. I've got to somehow, that has like a little depression that allows the screw to go in. If you look at the other side, Mark can go over there. It's a really tricky little deal. It's got a little pocket in there. The metal's folded. So I got to kind of fold the metal in the same way and then stitch it up before I knock this over, because if I try to knock that over, it's just going to rip like crazy here. So I'm basically going to address the easy thing right now, and this is the easy one. Usually I do the hardest one first, but a little low in energy. It's been like 0 to 5 degrees for like weeks now. We got a lot of snow out there, and we all got colds. We all got head colds, so we're all down on energy. So we're all getting out of the cold, but traditional winter head cold. So we got to knock this out, and we'll just hit that out with the hammer. That's what I'm going to do to bring this out, is to use the soft body dolly and a hard dolly in the back here, and I'll just punch this out a little bit. I got to hold this with my knee here. That one. Then I know this has got to go in right here. So let's see if we did anything. Now, watching this video on this Healey, and also watching that first installment of the Talbot-Lago building that front fender, is you should get the realization that paramount to anything working this stuff is all about the surface information. The more information you have, the easier the job is. And in this case here, it would be great to have a lot more information. And, you know, working the metal took an X amount of time. Developing the information took probably more time than working the metal. And I delegated the job of making the gauges and everything to Mark and Eric have been doing that. They've been doing a great job, but if we had a pristine nose to work with, that would make the job so much easier. So we're doing a little bit of guesswork here. So I should have quantified that. I think we did definitely there was more gap here before. So you can see it's hitting right here. So that needs to go in a little bit. So we got about 1/4 of an inch of gap here, 1/4 of an inch of gap here. If we bring that in, this will close up. So let's give that a shot. Let's mental note that again. It's right there. Don't drop it on your feet. All right. it. So right in here now. Get some there. We want to make sure we don't hit with any of the edges of the dolly till we're hitting this low crown here. And that gives it, it's like using a real flat dolly, or really flat anvil on the English wheel right now. We just want to move the metal. And it's a lot more effective doing it this way than, say, using a body hammer. And the slapper would have a hard time getting in there, I think, too. Alright, so now it looks like this whole, see when I bring that back? So this whole thing has to bend back this way a little bit. So now we need a fulcrum here. This is going to be one hand. And the lever here, this will be the second hand. Let's see if I got enough strength in me. There. Was it the bottom of the tape, Eric, or the top? All right, so that's getting closer. Now, we do seem to have this big gap here, which implies that the nose is supposed to come out some more. I'm not so sure that's right, though, because what we did to make this gauge is to just go from center line over, and then we reversed it here to make the full gauge. So we don't know if this is really true information or what. We don't have the line here that we can go by, so we might have to be cautious here and not make any bold moves. So we've got about 3/8 of an inch gap here. More on this side than it is on that side, but there's some on that side too. Now the only way we can close that up is if we move this whole nose forward. But I think we're reading already with the grill that it needed to go backwards, so. Eric, can you get that grill, and let's put that grill in there and see what that says. So this, I'm assuming, is going behind here, behind this flange, right?
Yes. So it's about there.
And there's a big eyebrow piece right here. Now, see, if we put it right there, that's implying that that has to go back, because we got a gap up here. But we don't have this eyebrow piece. Wish we had the eyebrow piece. Now, if we push this over to here, then we're way in with a big long lip here, and that's not right. So that implies that that has to go back. But this implies that it's back too much and it needs to go forward. Well, this is where we have to weigh the balance here. So if we made this go forward, which we could do, I think we're going to get into more trouble with the grill. Do we believe the grill, or do we believe this? The grill is unmolested. This is made up information that we took artistic license with, because we just reversed the other side, the left side, to center line. So let's do this. What do we got for a gap there? We got 3/8 of an inch or so. It's going to get more, but let's get a piece of wood and we'll slap this in and see if we can get this grill fitting better. And it might, and if that goes in, this is going to spread this way, which I think will help this possibly too. So let's take a shot and see if we can move this in. It's possible right here. See, there's some chipped paint there now. See the fractured paint right there? Yeah, it looks like radial fractures right here, like that got stressed. So And this makes a strong turn right here when you're looking at it from this side. This side has a softer turn. This is a harsher turn. So if we actually pop that in a little bit and pop the center in a little bit, we're registered now on here. So let's see when we hit this, how this will react with this grill. And I think it should look better. But we got to get this piece here. So, all right, let's get the setup. We'll knock that in. And how we're going to knock that in? I want to spread the load as much as possible. If you use a hammer, you've got the load too close. So I might use a rubber hammer. Yeah, I'm going to try just a rubber hammer to start out with and see what happens. You get the big giant rubber hammer, Eric. Well, he's going to get the rubber hammer and then we'll try that. So I got my big rubber hammer. I bought this at a flea market. I remember just like the moment was yesterday, about 30 years ago. It was on someone's bench. I'd never seen a rubber hammer this big. I had to have it. And it was $5. So we'll give this a shot. So Eric, if you can hold it right there, I'll hold it right here. So we'll just give this some love taps here. All right, we'll give that a shot. Yeah, I like that line better now when I eyeball down that line.
Much better.
All right. Yeah, it looks like we can go in a little more. Probably right in the middle now, huh?
Yeah.
Hold yours in your pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Right there.
All right, so we'll try to hit it in the middle now. Hold it that way. Try that. All right, so that's looking better. So I think we're on the right road. And then we'll check this to see what this looks like now. No, this should be way out of whack now. So it's possible we have to readjust this. So we could go back here, cut this, and then put it back together again after we follow this profile, which is not too molested. It was a little bit, but that's going to have to be what we have to do here. We'll cut this in half and then put it back in. So we need to go a little more, Eric, you think? Or that's hitting right there now, huh?
Yeah.
And how's it look?
There.
Curious as to how.
I think it comes over just right about there. And then this corner comes out.
Let me get your
This
hand
is
out of the way. Let me see.
where the holes are lined up.
Yeah.
I think this that direction. See the top hole. Here.
Yeah.
And there.
So it looks like this would have to come out some more here, this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has got to go this way, according to that side there, because this one's prominent here and this one isn't. So we're gonna have to get the. We got to sew this up too, probably, because it's getting ready to sew up. And that's the factory weld there that's kind of budged up a little bit here. But that made a big difference. Can we do it some more? Is it pretty even now? Let's see. Maybe a little bit strong right here and right here, looking at the line. Right here and right here. Let me mark that.
Blood mark, blood.
All right. It looks pretty good now. And we're right registering on here, good. That's good. So, how important it is to have these good parts to register everything. So, we're maybe not 100%, but we'll leave that for now. And now we'll move on to the next thing that we can do. Let's see if we can cut this in half. We'll cut this in half. We need those electric scissors. I think Jill's got them over there. And we have to iron this out a little bit more over here. There's a big bulge right there. I can knock that in right now. Take that out. All right, so we're back. We're going to address this little pocket here. As you can see right here, especially with this line, you see how it reverses right here really strong. And we don't have that here, so this needs to be punched out. So that means we're going to bring the whole shroud up, put it on the beater bag. We're going to use a caulking tool and then punch that out. But before we do that, I mentioned the other day that we're going to have a couple more winners announced to the 10-day Apprentice program. So we have two names here, and the first name is Chris Cotrill. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. He's from Delaware, Ohio, I believe. It's hard to read Mark's handwriting here. He sent a video in, and then also Nathan Davidson, and I'm not sure where he's from. He sent an essay in. So if both of you are watching this video, give us a call in the next day or a couple days from now, and we'll find out when you're going to be able to make the trip out here and take advantage of that 10-day apprenticeship program. So that would be 6 names that we've pulled out of the hat so far. We're definitely going to do 2 more, but we might do 4 more. We'll see. So it might be 10 all total. All right, so we're going to list Eric now, and he's going to help us lift this up, and then we can see if we can push that metal where it needs to go. So we'll fit this in the best we can. Let's see. Right like that. That's not bad right there. Can you hold that, Eric?
Got it.
Eric says he has it. If it falls on the floor,
It's all mine.
it's all Eric's problem. So let's see. I'm gonna do a comparison here. It's about 1 inch deep from here. Let's see if that'll move.
What's the tool you're using?
It's a caulking tool with the Delrin. We sell the little kit for those too. And that's the original factory weld, which broke in the accident. So we gotta, I didn't want to sew that up yet because I knew this had to be moved around. So that's getting ready to sew up now. Now let's see, I need a little bit over here, I think. Right there, that's punched out. That is going to have to be hit in this way, so I need a dolly to do that. We got a kink right here. Let's see if we can get that out.
This right here.
Yeah, I gotta get.
Is
This has got a.
3/4 of an inch here.
Yeah, right here is a 3/4.
Look.
Okay, yeah, that's gotta move in. All right, I gotta get this ripple out here. I gotta get where you are at, Mark. It's looking better. Now, another thing we had to do was this corner needs to be pushed up quite a bit. So we're actually in a perfect position to do that right now. So I'm going to punch that right there with that caulking tool. And then we'll do an assessment after we get this punched up. The nice thing is this Delrin is dull. Delrin, it's dull, and it won't tear the metal at all. So you can really move the metal with it nicely. Yep, it's all good. I think that needed to come up about 3/16 of an inch. All right, let's put it back up on the table here, and we'll put the hood back on, and we'll put the grill in. All right, I'm going to try to iron this out a little bit. As you can see, I got a long way to go on this corner here. This has got to come up quite a bit. So, but I want to iron this out. This is where that original factory weld is. Now this needs that little reverse right in here. So I'm gonna, well, it looks like I have to hit it a lot more right there. You can see that, but I can't do that without sewing this up. So this is a mess. I'm gonna have to clean this up with some lacquer thinner and wire brush the heck out of it. This has got to be, look at over here. See, we got at least a ½ inch of offset here. And here, this is ill-defined. So I got to weld that up and then punch that into position. This is a lot better here. It needs a little bit right there. It needs a bunch of ironing here. I'll have to grind this weld a little bit too, because that's pretty fat. So I think the first order of business is we'll sew this up. And that means I got to get it really good and clean. So we'll do that and then we'll weld it up. All right, so we're going to weld this up now. Looking good. When you get close to the edge, you got to be very careful. Did we lose the sound?
I lost your sound.
Oh, yeah. That's with the 50-50 helium argon mix, 330 seconds lanthanated tungsten with a gas lens. And the control that you have is just absolutely amazing. I'll show you the settings. Now we're going to weld that on the other side as well. I'm going to run through the settings again here. So here we are. With this I got 80 amps. I'm using the foot pedal though, so I'm moderating. That 80 gives me another extra little power if I need it. And 50%, I think that's the pulse time. These are all the settings. It's 1 pulse per minute. That's the cleaning. And that's the high frequency. I've recently switched to that. That was super important. I'll go back to that. I went to 130 on the high frequency. I had it up to high as 200 before. The 130 works a lot better. That was a major improvement. And then I got, I think that's the post flow. There's the pre-flow. And back to the amps again.
Let's see if we can get that to go.
So you can see the definition we have up here, we don't have right in here. So that is going to require maybe Eric holding it on the back side with one caulking tool and I'm hitting it on this side at the same time. And so that means I'm going to go get a second caulking tool and we'll see if we can reshape that.
So where do you want to start here?
The worst spot I think is right here. It's way in. You might have to get a hammer as well.
Hold on a second. Right, that's technical.
Do an assessment. Better?
It's moving.
Okay. Right here. Okay. Up above. Go ahead. A little bit more right here still. All right.
This is a little bit deeper here
Yeah,
than
this
this
has got to come back right here.
Okay.
Now we need to get the dolly under there. I got to iron this out here. Let's see how it's going up like there. That's got to go down. That's where that kink is, right? That's where it needs to be there. It's right there. We're good. What about? Is this good, you think? Or do you think it needs a little more? It might need a little more right there, Eric, I think. On the first layer.
Now you're going here.
I'm going on this one. You got to go on the other one. Yeah, you're in the right spot. That's looking pretty good. All right, what about right here? Is that out too far? Yeah, that's out too far. I got to bring that in just a little bit right here. You can see how nice those welds are. Those welds do not crack, they do not break. They're strong as the parent metal. If I did have a problem, it was only because there was foreign material in there that I didn't clean well enough. But that argon helium mix and the pulse is just an absolute bulletproof little system. It's taken me an evolution to adopt it all. It's been at least about 2 years to figure that whole system out, and now I'm totally locked in on it. It's just a wonderful way of welding aluminum that gives you perfect results just about every time. And you can make the beads a lot smaller too if you take your time. In this situation here, we had big tears and stuff, so we had to fill it up with material. So I think we made some pretty good progress tonight. And I just want to mention again, Chris Cotrill, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Ohio, and Nathan Davidson. They both won the 10-day apprenticeship program here at ProShaper. They'll be able to pick the month that they want to come out, but they're going to notify us when's the best month for them. And it could be 6 months from now, it could be next month, it doesn't matter, it's up to them. And if it, perchance they can't do it, we'll find somebody else, because we've still got a big list of names. We had 25 names, I believe. And we're going to choose 2 more and then maybe 2 more again. So I hope to hear from you guys tomorrow. So I think we did some pretty good progress. We got this ironed out a lot better. We have to move this still. Eric had a good idea of hitting it with the rubber hammer, but it's getting late again tonight. And all this planishing has to happen. To me, the planishing is a very simple operation. We have to do the global fixing, get all the measurements and relationships proper as best we can with what we have, because we're always lacking in information. The biggest frustration of this craft is not having the right information. Whether you're doing restoration or you're building a scratch-built car, the more information you have, the easier it is to do the task. Information is probably the #1 ingredient to success, if you've got the right information. So, thanks for watching. It's Ray from ProShaper Workshop, and we'll be back on the Talbot on Thursday. We're going to make that front fender. Tune in for that. Thanks to Eric and Mark for doing a great job that they do. And keep telling all your friends, please subscribe. It's Ray Chalene from ProShaper Workshop in Charlton, Massachusetts. Thank you.